continuing onwards, you'll find all different types of things in the organ sonatas. Now, one organ sonata that I particularly studied myself was actually his third organ sonata. That is the fifth. This piece is in 2 movements. Again, a sort of a deviation from the typical sonata form where you will find 3 movements. I mean, you'll find in this book anything from just these 2 movements to way more than 3. So, this piece has a con moto mestizo movement and the allegro con tranquillo movement. Now, both of these movements are very lovely pieces. Neither one of them is particularly up-tempo. The first movement contains a part of the chorale aus tiefer Not or in deep besnid, which again, a lot of these pieces that organ composers wrote, Bach, we're talking about Bach. A lot of the pieces that organ composers wrote would take chorales and then, kind of flesh them out a bit for an organ and add a little bit of variations, new harmonic changes to make the piece a little bit larger. Again, as Mendelssohn was very inspired by Bach, he brought his music back, he wanted to kind of incorporate that sort of style into his own composition. Interestingly enough, even though these are probably the most famous pieces that Mendelssohn wrote for organ, he also never actually performed these live or in public. In private, he did perform them, but he never actually was particularly proud of them enough, I suppose, to actually perform them live. So, in conclusion, Mendelssohn is a very well-known composer that if it wasn't for a period of time within less than 100 years, we might have actually forgotten about him due to anti-Semitism rampant in Europe. However, fortunately, there's been sort of a revival of interest in Mendelssohn and his music within this period of time. So, I suppose you could say we should be very grateful for this beautiful amount of lovely music, particularly this wonderful organ music that is considered to be absolutely essential repertoire for any organist to know how to play.